Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Ask you please stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular town board meeting for April. We have approval of minutes, March 4th special meeting, March 7th special meeting, March 11th regular meeting, March 14th special meeting, March 27th special meeting, March 29th there was a bid opening. Is there a motion on the minutes approved?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion, roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, the motion is carried. Public comment, agenda items. Anyone wishing to speak on any item on the agenda? Okay, hearing no one. First item on the agenda is the DEC permit for Ring-Spun treatment. The town received the copy of the permit that was obtained through the company that the town has hired to treat the pond for algae. And so everything's set there. The period of time is between the month of May and September of 2019. So we would expect that probably in May there'll be the first treatment of the pond, and hopefully we'll see some real improvement in that. Next item is Economic Development Advisory Committee. Bill Brain, the chair of the committee for the town, spoke to the board at our work session last month. They would like to plan on doing two events during the summer, and Bill emailed me, and I believe they're looking at June 30th and October 5th.
July 17, October 5th.
Pardon?
There's four listed. Which ones?
Well, they may have changed the dates, but because they're going to do two instead of four.
Okay.
So I think June 30th and October 5th were the two dates that he let me know today. They're working with the chamber and the businesses on Main Street because they want to close a couple blocks of the Main Street area for the events. So they're going to be working on the details. I'm sure keep the board informed going forward. So hopefully next month at our May work session we'll have more information on exactly what the activities are going to plan. Next is a resolution on the comprehensive plan, the Spca. Let me just read the resolution. Whereas the town of Cornwall has undertaken an update to its comprehensive plan, whereas the town board has before a draft comprehensive plan update upon which it proposes to take action, whereas adopting or updating the comprehensive plan is an action subject to review under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, whereas the town board has caused to be prepared an environmental assessment form, a copy of which is attached here too, and whereas the town board is the sole involved agency for the purposes of Spca, review of the update of the comprehensive plan, now therefore be it resolved as follows. Town board accepts the Spca EAF and authorizes the town supervisor to sign part 1 thereof. 2, the town board as the sole involved agency shall be the responsible agency, i.e. lead agency for the purposes of Spca review. And 3, the town board determines that the proposed update to the town's comprehensive plan constitutes a type 2 action under
Type
Spca.
1.
Oh, type 1, I'm sorry, type 1. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second? Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, the motion is carried. Next is a resolution on the comprehensive plan setting a public hearing for May. The board has completed our review and put the comprehensive plan into a draft form. We'll hold a public hearing to get input from the public at the public hearing. I think we had talked about last week that instead of having it on May 13th, which is our regular board meeting, that we possibly would do it on May 14th at 7 o'clock. So I spoke with Leslie today, and she's available on the 14th. So does that work for you, Steve?
Yeah, 14th.
Okay. Whereas it is necessary and appropriate to periodically review and update the comprehensive plan, whereas the town board with the assistance of the comprehensive plan committee and Leslie Dotson planner has prepared a draft comprehensive development plan update and a copy of which is attached here too. Whereas the draft 2019 comprehensive development plan update is now before the board. Now therefore be resolved as follows. One, that the movement of this resolution does hereby introduce the above proposed comprehensive plan. And two, that the proposed comprehensive plan be submitted to the Orange County Department of Planning. And three, that a public hearing on the proposed comprehensive plan be set for May 14th, 2019 at, we have 7:05?
Might make it 7.
We'll make it 7. At 7 o'clock PM, and that due notice the same is directed to be given by publication and posting. I also want to mention, I have put a copy of the plan over at the library for reference. There's one in the town clerk's office, and it is on the town website for anyone interested in looking at the plan. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second? Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Next item on the Bridge Street rehabilitation project. I have a proposal from the engineering firm McGoey, Hauser and Etzel to do the engineering work to prepare the plans and specifications for bidding. Whereas the town of Cornwall wishes to have the Bridge Street Bridge rehabilitated so that it may be reopened to pedestrian traffic. Whereas the town has reviewed the findings contained in the rehabilitation assessment report for Bridge Street Bridge, prepared by McGoey, Hauser and Etzel, consulting engineers, DPC, MHE, dated November 15th, 2018. And whereas it is necessary to obtain certain calculations and analysis to develop engineering plans, specifications, and a bid package for the recommended repairs in order to move forward with the rehabilitation of the Bridge Street Bridge. Whereas McGoey, Hauser and Etzel provided the town with the attached proposal for professional services dated March 27th, 2019, detailing the work McGoey, Hauser, Etzel will provide and cost to the town. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, that the town board hereby approves the McGoey, Hauser and Etzel proposal and authorizes the supervisor to sign the agreement. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second? Discussion?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Regarding the addition of demolition of the sidewalk, steel beam support, and reconstruct with masonry face concrete, is that part going to be a separate bid, separate from the overall package, so that it can be evaluated independently?
Well, I think that in discussing it, first of all, the steel that supports the sidewalk has to be rehabbed as well. So it has to be scraped, painted, and so forth. And secondly, if the entire width of the bridge is going to be for pedestrians, we don't need a sidewalk, which is starting to deteriorate, and it becomes a liability.
Those beams are really rusted
Yeah.
bad,
So it has to be part of the package, really, to make it
and they were in addition to the bridge to begin with.
right when it was expanded. In addition to that, the engineers have to look at the railing on the bridge as to whether it really meets the standards today, because it does create a potential for, it serves as a stepladder sort of, because of the horizontals. In terms of someone, it's easy for a young person to climb up on the railing and hang over it. So they're gonna have to evaluate all that when they do the engineering.
An attractive nuisance.
Exactly. Okay, it's been moved to second. Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Okay. Next is a resolution. Next, I have a resolution for Arbor Day. The town is going to be planting with our Conservation Advisory Committee for we are 15th anniversary of Tree City. But we're going to plant 2 trees. One will be off to the left side of the town hall as you're facing Main Street, and the other will be a replacement tree in the Veterans Triangle. So I have a resolution for Arbor Day, whereas the town of Cornwall recognizes the importance of trees for many years and been proud to participate in the annual celebrations of Arbor Day and Earth Day, and is celebrating the 15th anniversary of being Tree City USA town. Whereas in keeping with the Tree City USA standard requirements to qualify for membership, the town encourages tree planting, environmental activities, and community pride. Whereas the town proposes to plant trees on the town hall grounds and at the Veterans Triangle grounds on April 25th, 2019 at 4:30 p.m. There's a little time change on that, Steve.
Okay, 4:30.
Now therefore be resolved as follows. 1, that the town board wishes to celebrate Arbor Day and Earth Day by encouraging citizens to participate in environmental activities in keeping with the spirit of each of these days. 2, the town board wishes to recognize and celebrate 15th anniversary of being a Tree City USA town. And 3, that the town board authorize the planting of trees at Town Hall grounds and the Veterans Triangle grounds on April 25th, 2019 at 4:30 PM. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Move second, discussion, roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes, the motion is carried. Okay, I have a resolution of the Skyhawks Sports Academy. This is a company that the town has gathered information from through our recreation department to provide some activities for the residents of the community. And Mr. Gaba has drafted an agreement with Skyhawks. I'll read the resolution. Whereas the town board has received a proposal from Skyhawks Sports Academy LLC to conduct a skills-based sports program for youth during the summer on town property. Whereas the town is willing to approve said program under the terms and conditions of the agreement attached hereto, therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, that the town board hereby agrees to enter into the annexed agreement with Skyhawks, and 2, town board hereby authorizes supervisor to execute same and all documents necessary to effectuate the terms therein. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Move second, discussion, roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes, motion is carried. Next, we discussed the letter from the engineer for the Stone Hollow subdivision, formerly known as Willow Woods, for bond reduction. I'll read the resolution. Whereas Stone Hollow subdivision, Stone Hollow received conditional approval from the town of Cornwall Planning Board in 2008. Whereas at that time, the town's consulting engineers recommended the town board require performance security in the amount of $1,873,115.55, which Stone Hollow provided. And whereas in 2009, Stone Hollow caused improvements to be constructed on the site, and the town granted a reduction in the performance security to $1,456,877.95. Whereas in March 2017, Stone Hollow caused improvements to be constructed on the site, and the town granted a reduction in the performance security to $847,380.45. Whereas in October 2018, Stone Hollow caused improvements to be constructed on the site, and the town granted a reduction in the performance security to $557,315.11. And whereas McGoley, Hauser, and Etzel has reviewed the current request for a reduction in performance security and now recommends performance security in the reduced amount of $445,191.11. Now therefore be resolved as follows. The town board does hereby set performance security for Stone Hollow in the reduced amount of $445,191.11 to be submitted to the town attorney in the form of either cash or letter of credit for review and approval. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second? Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes, motion is carried. Okay, I have a resolution, request for hardship waiver from moratorium. Whereas the town has received an application from 2525 Route 9W LLC for an extraordinary hardship exemption from the moratorium on the submission and processing of applications for land use approvals within the town of Cornwall. And whereas in order to process the application, the town board must make a determination as to whether the application is complete and must schedule a public hearing. Now therefore be resolved as follows. 1, the town board hereby determines that the application is complete. And 2, that said application is hereby referred to the town's attorney and engineering consultants for review and report. And 3, that a public hearing on the application is set for, we have May, let's see, we meet on the 13th, so we can actually set that at 7 o'clock then, Steve?
Yep.
Okay, May 13th at 7 o'clock PM. And the due notice, the same is directed to be given by publication and posting. Is there a motion on the resolution?
This is for the gas station on IW.
Correct.
It's been before the planning board multiple times over a number of months.
Yes.
So this has been ongoing for quite a while.
Yes.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
Second.
second, discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randall?
Yes, the motion is carried. Next, I have a request from the highway superintendent. The undersigned requests permission to purchase a stump grinder attachment from Summit Bobcat. The cost of the attachment is $6,855.20, which is a state contract pricing. In addition, it is my recommendation that it is ordered with an upgraded grinding tooth package at a cost of $1,084 to bring the total cost to $7,939.20. Respectfully submitted, Kyle Livesey. This unit will be able to attach to the Bobcats that we currently have, plus a new purchase of a Bobcat. It also will be able to be operated on that equipment. We haven't had a stump grinder. We've always borrowed or rented, but when trees come down, rather than leave the stumps, whether it be on the town hall grounds or along the roads, it's nice if we can go in and remove the stumps to eliminate the unsightliness, but also the liability that exists with having the stumps throughout the,
And plant some grass.
yeah, exactly, an upgrade, or a new tree.
And after a few rental expenses, you've got to pay for it.
It paid for it, yeah, because it is expensive. Is there a motion to approve the purchase?
So moved.
Is there a second? Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. I have a memo from the highway superintendent regarding the railing upgrade on the boulevard. The bridge on the boulevard, the railings date back many decades, was struck by a car, I think probably within the past couple of years. There was a temporary repair to the guardrail that was put up, but the stuff isn't cheap. But I do have two estimates. One is All-In Highway Services for installing box beam system, $23,257.45. And from Chemung Supply Corporation for $23,135. The memo from the highway superintendent recommends that Chemung be given the, accept their price of the $23,135 for the new railing. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, the motion is carried. McGoey Hausen Etzel letter regarding the bids on the roof for the police department in the annex. We obtained a grant from Senator Larkin for $85,000 to replace the roof. Initially, it started at $65,000, then it went to $85,000, and the engineer said that we had to have testing for asbestos. When the testing was done, we found that it had asbestos, so that had to be included in the bid specs, and I have a letter from the engineer. The bids were opened, sealed bids were opened on 29 March 2019. They've reviewed the bids. It involves the demolition of existing roofing, including insulation and metal roof edges, and including asbestos abatement and installation of a new roof, including new membrane insulation and metal flashing and roof edges. The bids came in. It was Frank Stevens and Sons Roofing, Inc., $172,000, and Precision Roofing, $199,000. Based on a review of the scope of the work and proposal submitted, it's our opinion that the bid values are reasonable based on current construction costs. Officers worked with Frank Stevens Roofing in the past, and they installed the upper roof of the remainder of Town Hall. Based on the project history, it's our opinion that they are capable of completing the project work in a professional manner. We also called Stevens Roofing and spoke with the project manager to discuss the project. They are comfortable with the bid price submitted and understood the scope of the work involved. Based on the above, it's our recommendation that the town of Cornwall award the bid in base bid amount of $172,000 to Frank Stevens and Sons Roofing, if funding permits. If the town board so decides, a notice of award should be sent to the contractor as soon as possible. It's from Andrew Warren. And we do have, fortunately, the town had borrowed money for town hall capital, so we do have sufficient amount to cover the, unfortunately, we would really rather not spend it on the roof, but we have to get the roof repaired. It's been leaking for the past couple of years and just progressively getting worse. So we do have additional money in the town hall capital fund that can help cover the additional costs. So is there a motion to accept the bid as recommended by the engineer for Frank Stevens and Sons Roofing? Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yeah.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, reluctantly, I know. But okay, next is a fundraiser for a local Hudson Valley SPCA. Applicant is Janice Fugger, and looking to hold the event on the Town Hall grounds, June 16th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's a fundraiser for local Hudson Valley SPCA. Number of participants estimated to be 50. Use of the park restrooms, facilities. They have a group assigned for cleanup. They have a DJ attending and providing music and announcements. And I know this young gentleman made a nice presentation to the board at our work session. And so we felt then that it's certainly a great fundraiser. You mentioned you had success in the past with it. So is there a motion to approve the event?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Spun?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes. Motion is carried. And thank you. It's really, it's a nice event to raise money for a great cause. And I think you're going to get a real big turnout for it. So, thank you. Okay, I have a request from Nicole Gold. Recently, apparently, a boosters club has formed for the cheerleaders at the Cornwall Central School District. And they'd like to hold a fundraiser on April 20th. I know that's the Easter egg hunt, Carrie, correct?
Yes.
But they would start at 12 o'clock after all the activities would be done with it. So they just want to use the pavilion in the park, and I think they're going to be looking at T-shirt, tie-dye, and what have you for the day to just try to raise some money for they're 501c3, not-for-profit, and there's apparently this is a new club, and they're looking for one of their first fundraisers. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Move second, discussion.
What's their name?
Roll call.
Do they have a name?
It's just the boosters, but you said it's,
Cheer Booster Club.
yeah, Cornwall Cheer Booster Club?
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Spun?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Okay, farmers market rules and regulations. Laura and Phyllis have looked at the regulations that we have, and just to update it pertaining to the hours of the farmers market and just the times, it's the seasons, running May through October. It's going to be 11 to 5 p.m. on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, I think, starting on May 22nd. So is there just a motion to approve the modifications to the farmers market rules and regulations?
So moved.
Second.
Second, discussion, roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Spun?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Okay, I have two resolutions regarding tax certiorari proceedings. First one is whereas petitions have been filed by the property owner below challenging real property tax assessments on the town's assessment roll with respect to the following parcels. The owner is YYY Properties, tax ID 24-1-15, 330 Main Street, years 2017, 2018. Whereas petitioner's court challenges are now pending in the state Supreme Court, Orange County, and whereas the town and the property owner have reached a mutually agreeable resolution, now therefore be resolved, the special counsel to the town is authorized to execute a settlement on behalf of the town for assessments for no less than the following. Year 2017, original assessment 287.9, reduced assessment 240,000 even, assessment reduction 38,900, and 2018 the same. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Spun?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. The second resolution, whereas petitions have been filed by the property owner below challenging real property tax assessments on the town's assessment roll with respect to the following parcels. It's IRMAZ, I-R-M-A-Z Corporation. Address descriptions, tax IDs 22-7-5.1, 22-8-1.12, 22-8-1.11, and 22-8-1.2, 22-7-5.21 for the years 2017 and 2018. The address is 346 Vans Way and 5260 Clinton Street. Whereas petitioners' court challenges are now pending in the Supreme Court, Orange County, whereas the town and the property owner have reached a mutually agreeable resolution, therefore be resolved, the special counsel to the town is authorized to execute a settlement on behalf of the town for assessments no less than the following. For 3 Vans Way, Original was $323,800, reduced to $291,400 for a reduction of $32,400. For 4 Vans Way, 6 Vans Way, and 52 Clinton Street, the original assessment is $298,900, reduced to $273,500 for a reduction of $25,400. That's for each of those 3 properties. And the last one, 60 Clinton Street, is $434,700, reduction of the assessment to $391,250 for a total reduction of $43,450. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Move second, discussion, roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Next, we have a request from Carlene Nielsen. Request the town board approve the gallery is having its second annual student exhibit on Saturday, June 15th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Carlene Nielsen Art Gallery, 277 Main Street, Cornwall, New York. We're expecting another great turnout this year and wanted to have another food truck come. There'll be a municipal parking lot on Main Street like last year. I will need a few spots to park in. If any permits I need to obtain, please let me know. From Carly Nielsen. I know she's been in touch with the
Yes, she's working with
clerk's
our
office.
Mhm.
And it was a good event last year, and I would entertain a motion to approve the event.
So moved.
Second?
Move second, discussion, roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion's carried. An application for public event permit, Boy Scouts of America Pack 20. Looking to have their annual barbecue and model rocket launch, 5 on May 19th, 2019, 3 o'clock to 7. Approximately 40 participants. They said they'll have a first aid kit on site, just in case.
Mhm.
It's held over at the property by the town Girl Scout cabin. So, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion carried. In addition, they haven't done this in the past apparently, but they are interested in having an overnight tent camping scout event over there outside of the cabin on May 18th to May 19th. And I think, I don't know that they've done it in the past, but I know in scouts over the years, many years ago, I camped right over the side here. So it's a great opportunity for the kids to have that overnight experience and all. So I think if we just approve it, we'll notify our police department if the event's taking place, just so they can keep an eye on the activities over there for it. So is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second discussion, roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, the motion is carried. Next, we have an application for commercial audiovisual production permit. It's from Squamish Films,
Mhm.
19 Beekman Street, 5th floor, New York, New York, to be held on Wednesday, May 1st, 2019, from approximately 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Local location of event, including sites, parking, running cable, so forth. Set 1, Otter Kill Road between Clove Road to Taylor Road. Set 2, Jackson Avenue between Otter Kill Road and Orrs Mills Road. Stage and equipment parking lot by the Scunnamunk Mountain Otter Kill Road Trailhead. Base camp parking, Korean Buddhist, Wankaska, 260 Clove Road. Description of production, feature film, driving shots, bike and car on Otter Kill Road and Jackson Road. We'd like to ask permission, have intermittent traffic control on Otter Kill Road between Clove Road and Taylor Road, and Jackson Avenue between Otter Kill and Orrs Mills. Assistance from town police would ask assistance of 2 police officers at intersections, those locations. They'll provide a set medic in case there's any issues. Parking will be at base camp, and they'll clean up the area. I think you've gotten everything you need so far.
Gotten everything I need from them other than a check, but they're waiting for approval. Also, they've been informed of the police, the additional police costs, and they're fine with that.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes. Motion is carried. I have a memo from Tom, Building and Grounds. The new pickup that was ordered has come in, and it's a motion to declare the 2005 Chevy pickup truck surplus and offer for auction. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Move second, discussion, roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Next is a resolution to set the public hearing for the fiscal year 2020 Community Development Block Grant application. And we're gonna have to, it's gotta be done this month. I don't know whether there was a change in it, but Kerry, you were at a meeting on the block grant program.
Yes. The supervisor could not attend the meeting, and he asked me if I would attend the meeting in his place. And it was a review of how to be qualified and what the thresholds are for a community development block grant. Qualifiers are families of 4 that earn $60,000 a year or less. And obviously there are few or no areas of our town that qualify. And they went on to say that since senior citizens as a group are considered low income, not that they don't have financial stability, but low income per year, they generally qualify. So senior citizen projects are the ones that are most popular with communities and the ones that are approved more readily. They did mention that one project, they gave us an example, and it was our project in town for additional sidewalks. And they gave us a lot of credit and our engineer a lot of credit for submitting a perfect application. Apparently other communities have to go back and forth with the county several times to have their application corrected before it can be entertained. So that was nice hearing from them at the meeting of all the municipalities in the county.
Well, that's good. Okay. Looking at the possibility of holding a special meeting on April 18th at 7 o'clock. Is that everybody available?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'll read the resolution. Whereas heretofore the town is determined to apply for fiscal year 2020 Orange County Community Development Block Grant, municipal grant, and whereas prior to completing the application, it is required the town hold a public hearing for input from the community as to what the town should apply for under the program. Whereas it is necessary for the town board to adopt a resolution formally authorizing and retaining the town's consulting engineers to prepare and file the application. Therefore be resolved as follows. 1, that a public hearing on the application for fiscal year 2020 Community Development Block Grant is set for May 18th, 2019 at 7 o'clock p.m. And that due notice the same is directed to be given by publication and posting. 2, the town board hereby retains and authorizes the firm of McGoey, Hauser, and Etzel Consulting Engineers to prepare and submit an application for grant under the fiscal year 2020 program. Is there a motion?
That's for April 18th,
You
right?
said
April 18th.
You read May.
Did I say May? I wrote April. Okay, April. Roll call.
Mr. McGinnis? Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. That's because we actually were thinking that we were going to
Yeah.
do it in May and then found out that the deadline for the application.
Yeah.
But, and just to note, follow up on what Kerry said, I mean, we have very few areas in the town, almost, if any, that qualify based on income levels and so forth. And it's not just one group or one family, it's neighborhoods that really this is determined by the federal government. So we will hold a public hearing, take any input from the public at that
They
time.
did say outside of the cities and the county, there are only 1 or 2 communities that qualify, or have qualifying areas.
And we've been successful with the grants
Yes.
in the past with, for the seniors too. Okay, you do a roll call?
I did.
We did.
Are you interested in waiving the reading on this next one, or you want to go through?
No, as long as we can waive it, that's fine. This is a reading, this is new, Steve, you might want to explain.
Sure. As part of the applications for the community development block grants, the state is requiring municipalities to reaffirm their commitment to the Fair Housing Act. And this is a resolution that reaffirms the town's commitment to fair housing and to assist in procuring housing, on a fair basis under the statutory requirements. It will, like I say, assist the town in its application. There are two things, in addition to reaffirming the town's commitment that this does. One is that we have to post the resolution and a statement that town's in favor of fair housing on the website. And second, the town, and this is a little bit more nebulous, distribute posters or flyers or some other means of communicating that if someone feels they've been discriminated against as far as housing goes, they can contact the town and they'll receive assistance in, remedying the situation, or at least pursuing their rights. So there's a lot of leeway as far as if you're gonna put posters up on the clerk's board or town hall, you're gonna put flyers out at Munger or, again, the clerk's office or by the police or what have you. But those are the two things this resolution will commit the town to do.
Okay, is there a motion to waive the reading of the entire
So moved.
resolution?
Second.
Second? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion got, I'll have to read the resolved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you'd,
Now therefore be resolved as follows, that within available resources, the town of Cornwall will assist all persons who felt they have been discriminated against under one of the aforementioned categories to seek equity under federal and state laws by filing a complaint with the New York State Human Rights Law and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development as appropriate. And be it further resolved, the town of Cornwall shall publicize this resolution, and through this publicity shall cause owners of real estate, developers, and builders to become aware of their respective responsibilities and rights under the federal fair housing law, the New York State Human Rights Law, and any other local laws or ordinances. And be it further resolved, the town of Cornwall will, at a minimum, include but not be limited to, 1, printing and publicizing this resolution, fair housing, public notice, and other applicable fair housing information through local media, community contacts, and placement of the town of Cornwall on the town of Cornwall website and in other social media. 2, distribution of posters, flyers, and any other means by which will bring to the attention of those affected the knowledge of their respective responsibility and rights concerning equal opportunity in housing. Is there a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
For a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Okay, under personnel, have a resignation memo from Chief Hazard. Part-time police officer James Tremper has accepted full-time employment in neighboring jurisdiction and has attached his resignation letter. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bond?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Next is a memo from the building inspector, request permission to advertise for part-time assistant code enforcement officer. Spring is rapidly approaching. We anticipate being overwhelmed with requests for building inspection, building permits, inspections, and the time-consuming task of investigating complaints and enforcing property maintenance violations. The department has experienced the busiest months of January, February, and March in 10 years. Sufficient funding exists within the budget for this position. We respectfully, Gary Vinson, building inspector. Is a motion to authorize the building inspector to advertise?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bond? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. Just one other thing I do want to add is just that the town and the village has been working with our school district, Mayor Coyne and myself, and Chief Hazard and Chief Dixon from the village have been meeting with the committee, the Cornwall Cares Committee at the school district, and we're putting together a program on firearm safety. It's actually gun safety in the home. And it's going to be held on Tuesday, April 30th at 7 p.m. in the Cornwall Central Middle School Auditorium. And it's really an opportunity. It's not about people's views on gun laws or anything else. It's strictly about gun safety in the home, just making sure that the parents are aware, that they talk to their children about guns in the home, whether it's their home or whether they're going to a friend's house, just being aware of, what the issues might be with gun and gun safety. So it's a good program. It was a big committee that the school district has put together, and they've put a lot into it, so we should have a good presentation on the 30th. Okay, committee reports. Councilwoman Bunt?
Okay, for the sewer, the Shore Road facility, the influent new raw sewage flow was 1.6, the limit accepted was 1.5. They did all their cleaning and the regular maintenance there, and on the Birthcliff plant, the flow was 0.108, and the permit limit is 1.12. And again, they did all their regular maintenance and cleaning. That's the sewer. The senior advisory committee has not been able to meet because of a few of the members having some health issues. So we'll get back into it. They're getting better now, so we should be meeting soon. And Valerie at the senior building does keep the seniors busy there with all kind of programs, so I think we're in good shape there.
Okay. Councilman Summerfield?
Sure. The CCAC met April 3rd, last Wednesday. There were a number of items of discussion. I'll just give you the highlights. Food scrap recycling is to proceed in New York State beginning January 1st, 2022. It's primarily aimed at very high volume creators. Plastic bag ban in New York State is expected to be approved and begin effective March 1, 2020. You've already gone over the Arbor Day planting. Donahue Memorial Park and Riverkeeper cleanup will be the first Saturday in May at 8 a.m. There was a discussion of pond cleanup, Ring-Spun, and whether and how the CCAC could participate or assist the town. The tree subcommittee is reviewing the opportunity to assist in Chilean Circle's fir tree requirements or replacements regarding best practices and species selection. Cornwall and Hudson is benchmarking their energy use by DPW and Village Hall for future use in energy conservation measures. Cornwall and Hudson lighting law is still in draft form. When made public, CCAC will review for applications for Cornwall for the town. Cornwall and Hudson has passed a solar law identifying limitations and restrictions on size, visibility, etc. There was a discussion of a new 40-acre solar farm in New Windsor and whether it's possible the town could see one develop here. The CCAC is proposing doing a soil sample testing at the Garden Club plant sale that would provide information primarily from Cornwall Cooperative Extension. There would be two types of sampling. One would be for immediate on-the-spot testing to identify nutrients in the soil so that when you're amending the soil in spring with fertilizers or organics, you're actually adding the needed nutrients, not just whatever happens to be on sale at Home Depot. New York State Natural Heritage Project map info is now available online at www.nynap.org. Their next meeting for the CCAC is Wednesday, May 8th at 7 p.m. The Chamber of Commerce has a number of events they'd like me to share. Monday, May 20th is the 20th annual golf outing at Storm King Golf Course. Monday, 9 a.m., Greater Cornwall Chamber of Commerce. You can look it up online. Saturday, June 8th, Cornwall Goes Green Recycling Day. Saturday, 9 a.m., Town Hall grounds. Sunday, June 9th, Riverfest at Donahue Park. Tuesday, June 11th, is a Hudson Valley multi-chamber mixer from 7 different counties that will be participating, including Westchester and Sullivan County. 24 chambers from throughout the Hudson Valley have been invited to participate. It's a great opportunity to meet and enjoy the biggest business mixer of the year, certainly in Cornwall. Last page, and the mixer is going to be, did I say the date? Tuesday, June 11th at 5 p.m. at Storm King Arts Center. They'd also like you all to know that the Music in the Park will be returning this year. 10-week concert series on Sunday evenings starting on June 9th from 6:30 till 8 p.m. in the grounds in front of Town Hall. They have 10 local bands already booked to play music anywhere from rock and roll, country, bluegrass, swing, and pop. Tons of fun for the entire family.
Thank you. Councilman McGinnis?
For the month of March, the Highway and Sanitation Departments, the Highway Department specifically, assisted sanitation as needed, snow removal townwide on roads and sidewalks, maintenance of trucks and sanders, maintenance of the highway garage, clean and clear drainage pipes and ditches, pothole repair townwide, clean and organized storage buildings for equipment, remove failing locust trees behind Lumber Cottage, start excavation for handicap parking spaces and ADA compliant ramp and observation pads at Little League Park, and did basin repairs on Peter Scott and Mailer. The building department issued 13 permits, 11 CCs, 5 COs, 1 demolition permit, 53 on-site inspections, which goes back to what you were saying about needing additional personnel. 8 complaints investigated, 9 fire inspections, 7 signs removed. They took in $5,008 in permit fees and $3,900 for municipal searches. And there was 1 new planning board project opened. The planning board held their reorganization meeting that you made. Okay. On March 4th, and they heard from AT&T, which wanted to replace an antenna in one of their facilities in town, and there was an extension of permits for 1 project, and that's about it.
Okay, thanks, Jerry. I have the police report from Chief Hazard. Calls for service, 805. Miles driven, 7,924. Total miles for the year so far, 23,525. Traffic and appearance tickets issued, 91. Parking tickets issued, 2. Motor vehicle accidents reported, 39. Arrests made, 13. 9/11 hang-up, misdial or open line, 3. Alarms, residential and business, 42. Ambulance requests, 17. Animal complaints, 14. Criminal mischief, 2. Disabled vehicles, 21. Domestic incidents, 15. Parking complaints, 1. Suspicious vehicle of persons, 22. Pretty high. House checks, 14. Assist other agencies, 18. Okay, we have warrant number 4. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt? Yes. Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes. Motion is carried. We are going to be going into closed session to seek the advice of counsel, but I'll now open the floor for public comment on anything. Yes, just give your name.
Thing, related to Bridge Street, but not related to necessarily related to the engineering proposal. I live on the corner of Broadway and Bridge, and I work from home, so I see the bridge during business hours. A couple times every week, I see people either climbing the fence or using those horizontal rails to swing out, like around the fence. And I'm just, I don't know if those fences can be removed until the project starts. I understand they're there for safety reasons, but they seem to be creating a new safety problem. So I don't know if you're aware of that, but I see it.
Well, those who choose to do that
Sure.
are creating the safety problem.
I
Okay?
understand
The
that.
fence is there for a reason. Anybody can climb a fence or go around it. We have no control over
Sure.
that. But if they're injured, the board has closed the bridge to pedestrians. We've put up fencing, and if people choose to ignore that and try to beat the system, if you will,
Mhm.
then they do it at their own peril.
I just wanted to make sure you were aware.
We are aware of it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Yes, Win?
I have it on pretty good authority that Riverfest is not on June 9th, but on June 2nd.
June 2nd. Okay. I think you would know.
You sure about that?
Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, motion to go into closed session to seek the advice of counsel.
So moved.
Is there a second? Roll call.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Ms. Bunt?
Yes.
Mr. Summerfield?
Yes.
Mr. Randazzo?
Yes, motion is carried. The board will not be taking any action in closed session. Thank you very much for coming, and good luck with your event. If you have any questions, give us a call,
Thank you.
okay?
Thank you all.